recently I was lucky enough to sit down with digital creator VIDEOMATTPRESENTS. He's out of beautiful sunny Los Angeles, California. I stumbled across his content recently in the last year and became a fan, subscribed, interacting in the live streams, and he was reciprocal. We've kind of became digital creator friends, and he was nice enough to give me some time to talk to him, interview him, get a little bit of his backstory, which you'll hear all about his backstory and what he does coming up in the interview. He's a content creator, a podcaster, an independent journalist, activist, and categorizer and describer, catalog keeper of the human condition is kind of how I describe him. He's just filming the things that he sees. Calling it as he sees it. You'll hear all about that in a second. We sat down, we had almost 2 hours of conversation, but in our first sit down, it turns out the only thing that got recorded was the sound check.
Penis. Penis. Penis.
Yeah, luckily enough, we sat down a couple days later and pounded out some more because they had more questions I wanted to ask him, and we ended up filling just about an hour of all the relevant stuff we wanted to sit down and talk about anyway. So without further ado, guys, links are in the description for everything you hear us talk about. This is Mitch is a Bad Man, and my sit down with Matt of VIDEOMATTPRESENTS.
Concrete jungle, what are you doing?
Oh, just sitting here in the concrete basement, my man.
Well, good. Just in case of tornadoes, that's the place I want to be.
Exactly, dude.
When I was in high school, I had media class. There would be one guy on the switchboard, another guy on camera, me doing the acting and stuff. Now it's like one person all in one. And how important, especially you being a broadcaster, can't you see now how, like, dude, another 10 years, Mitch, before you're even my age, it's going to be longer, 10, but we're going to evolution into more of this kind of stuff. Less of the AM, FM radio, less of the people are going to want to go pick and choose what they want to see every day. You know, we used to only get, you know, the Bob Barkers and the shit that was programmed. Now people can pick and choose. How if I watch you every week, no different than watching Bob Barker? No. How's that no different? Really?
Exactly, for real. And growing up, even like, so in high school in the 2010s and everything, and you start to see the content creators, even kids then, people like me and people my age are like, this shit, all these people think they're fucking, you know, they're Walter Cronkite or they're all these whatever. And then you actually see where it goes and you're like, oh, first of all, Walter Cronkite and all these other people, no different from anybody else. It's all gatekeeping, systematic, club, you're in or you're out, you're in the clique, you have the degree, you have the piece of paper, you played the game type of deal. And I mean, you see in the last couple years with all the crazy political and the cultural divide, the reason this is all happening is because of this medium of communication and the legacy media and the legacy politicians and these dinosaurs that run these systems that have been in place for the last century or so, are reeling, trying to figure out what to do about it. And I'm glad we got you back on here because you are one of those guys that we're talking about that brings the news right to the people. I wanted to get into asking you into the second part about your Carl's Jr. video. I think we're going to get to that at the tail end of this because I want to dive right in, man. I was looking at a couple of your recent videos. What I don't know, you don't title your videos, but I called it the crack alley. Crack in the alley, dude. That was funny.
Oh, literally. Yeah.
And
excuse me, sir, your crack is showing.
We got crack in the alley. And then you had the homeless, the Walking Dead, well, the Sleeping Dead. Like, I'm seeing this shit from your channel, man, in front of the store entryway, in front of the store foyer, in front of the front door of this store. How the fuck? How is this happening? I want to turn you loose right now. I want to turn you loose. What the hell is going on? And I don't see this in the Midwest, really. I mean, this looks like it's highly concentrated in California and a lot of the bluer states. I want to hear from you exactly what is happening, why you think it's happening. What the fuck is the deal, dude?
Well, first of all, thank you again for having me on part 2. Let's get right into it. So out in the city of Los Angeles, we all know this is where the on heaven earth they came. The fucking lizard people live. No, or not. But if they did, it makes sense, right? Because LA is warm all the time. When I had a pet lizard, the lizard always wanted to stay on the little heated rock, never wanted to fucking leave. With that being said, everybody across the country is coming here because of the weather. As we see other places, it's really cold and fucking shit. And most people are freezing to death in other parts of the country. But that's not just actually the only reason why. It's because the lax laws here and this whole perception that in Hollywood you could be anything you want to be, even a fucking drug addict or even mental health or even homeless or even just yourself. And what I'm doing, being myself, realizing as I'm driving around each day for the last 7 years, and then since 2020, dude, it's been seeing the decline. And we're told, the taxpayers are told, it's a housing crisis. But I have a documentary coming out soon to basically unravel and expose the people in office. See, I wasn't even wanting to do this. It's just, I felt like, why aren't other people filming and seeing this shit?
Mm-hmm.
But they are. They think it's, basically, we're in a fucking, what we're seeing happen in LA is happening across the whole country. But I'm kind of like at the top of the tree. I can kind of see what's going to be fucking happening, like the arteries. It's pretty soon the heart of America is going to fucking die because everything is poisoned. And I'm starting to see it fucking hit Juliet's throat before it goes to the rest of her body and makes her go to sleep for the last fucking breath. And what I'm seeing out here in LA is it's not a housing crisis. It's mental health, drug addiction crisis. It's being looked at as a housing crisis. We need to bring back rehabilitation programs. Everybody wants to blame Ronald Reagan, but he's been dead for over 50 fucking years. This is fucking insanity. We need to think about right now in the present and look towards the future and stop looking so far in the fucking past. That's why we're standing on our own foot. And what you saw the other day with this woman or man out in the front of that business, there's a business owner. This is Wilshire Boulevard, one of the most busiest roads out here. Small business is getting hurt the most. Corporate as well, but also small businesses. Why? Because you got the city is allowing this to happen, allowing people to parch up in front of your doorway because of the homeless issue. When really that person who said there's anthrax thrown on them, they need mental help. And so there's not, as I'm finding out with my documentary, talking with this woman who's shedding more light, these programs are not in place to help. It's like catch and release. It's all about a money scheme. They want to put a Band-Aid on a gaping wound instead of stitching it up and healing it because the city leaders have found out that that's where all them fucking money is. And what I was just doing, Video Matt, just used to interview bands, and now I'm doing my business delivering weed. Yes, indeed, I've been seeing fucking greed take place. It doesn't take a college degree to see what's going on in front of me. Yep. So now I've been getting more active, putting these videos out there, try to use my little platform, even though last year, my YouTube of 12 years, my Facebook of 12 years, my Instagram of 10 years, my TikTok of 4 years, all of it got taken and deleted for doing this. But here we are again. We're rising up, and I'm done, dude. I went and talked to some cops today. They didn't even answer my question because now they're paid off. Like they can't even it's just fucking corrupt, dude. It's just, these are man-made problems that can get fixed, and they don't want to fix it. Why? Because of money. So,
yep.
So yeah, there's a lot bigger thing to go into it, but yeah, that's greed, dude. It's man-made. These can be fixed.
Yeah, well, and I want to kind of dive into it a little bit with you there. So you hit on a bunch of different points like that I was going to bring up. So I love it. So it's perfect. So I mean, first of all, it's like top to bottom corruption. So it's like the cops, fuck. Do they even know? Because like I imagine, like if you're a police officer too, if you're a remaining police officer, right, in the force, especially in California, I can't imagine what that culture is like, right? And do you even know? No. Like, do you even know?
Well,
like,
no. Well, though, any cops that are remaining now are all just fucking doing what the leaders said. Because all the ones that were like, hey, this is bullshit, we need to do something, they left. They fucking bounced. They said, we're not doing this. Fuck you then. You want us to get the jab to fucking keep our job. Now we can't even fucking really do anything to these people because now they're fucking So now the ones that are doing the job, they're just city leaders in fucking uniforms. And I found that out today with my video. And I'll send you any of this if you need any clips to go to. Right there, you got ass crack showing. And then we got law enforcement officials that are too overweight to even run down the fucking street if somebody stabs me. We need to start getting better trained officials. Like, we need new law enforcement guys. We need younger people out here. How is these guys don't even talk to citizens. They're overweight. They're not trained. Of course nothing's getting done. Of course they just pull up right here and get paid to watch this woman tweak out. Man, this is pretty sad.
We're watching you freak out.
No, I'm freaking out on you. Yeah. Karen Bass and Gleam Davis want to say we have a housing crisis, but we have a mental health and drug addiction issue. So what's the game plan? Because this is constantly every day, people getting stabbed and shanked. We just want to know, are leaders failing you guys and failing us? Because they say there's help for these people, but they need more than just a house for the night. You work for us, you're not going to comment, huh? Okay, he says we're not going to comment on the opinion. You want to know why? Because they're paid now to keep their mouths shut. Yanike's? Okay, what's your sauce, sir? What's your... Cope. Officer Cope, I want to know how you cope with this shit. I'm putting a target on my fucking head. And my wife's wondering, why are you doing this? People are threatening us. People are trying to break into the home. People are trying to hurt you. And honestly, dude, Mitch, I don't even know. I'm not even from the city. I'm from a small town. Why the fuck should I care? Well, it's because our neighbors, it's because we should care, because at the moment we start throwing trash down in our community, the moment we start walking by our brother pissing and shitting and talking to ghosts to himself and thinking it's okay, fuck it. It's his right. He should be able to be on the sidewalk and do that.
It's also spun out on drugs. Also spun out. Fucking A. Fucking also spun out. And look at this guy. Looking at himself in the fucking mirror. Look at this. This is all consecutive. Like, dude, I'm not making this up, guys. This is real shit.
No, because we used to be able to prevent shit from happening. Preventative care. Now we just say, fuck it, wait until it happens, and then we don't even do anything then. Yep. So when your little kid's walking and he gets stabbed, then they'll maybe do something if not. And what I'm just saying is, dude, I'm just a person like everybody else. Why aren't other people pissed? And now I feel like I'm pissed that just I have to use my time and energy to do this, but I feel like I have to do it. Dude. I feel like I have to now. Like, it's weird. Nobody's paying me. I'm just doing it because I feel like I have to do it. Yeah. As an American, my grandpa went to fucking war. He got a Purple Heart in the Korean War. And I'm wondering, as he's in heaven, what is he thinking about us fucking now? What was it all for? You know what I mean? Yep. And we're getting raped, fentanyl coming in from China, selling it to the Mexican cartels. Our leaders are getting paid off, Republican and Democrat, and they're just letting us fucking go, die from our number one weakness, and that is addiction. So anyway.
Boom! You're there. You go, 100%. And on the addiction thing, you walk that libertarian line, right? Of like when people talk about decriminalization and legalization of drugs and stuff, right? I'm very much like walking that line and not kind of taking a hard line opinion on either side. I'm like, well, it depends. It's if this, then that. What are we going? If we say legalize everything, what are we going to do here? But I wanted to touch on the fact where you were saying, like, now I'm from a small town. I'm not from a city, and I feel pissed off that now it seems like I'm the one that's got to fucking do this because you people are acting like you don't see it. I felt the same way when I started doing this podcast. I did it in the middle of lockdowns in 2021. We fired this up because I was just seeing so many of the people in my small community rabbling on Facebook back and forth, and I'm like, you guys, what? Nobody's doing any research here. Nobody's looking into the fact. Nobody's talking to anybody. And so I started the podcast and we started doing that. And then I got bored of it. I was like, I want to do fun stuff. I'm like, I don't. Like what? Sometimes I'm just like, why am I doing this? It's not making me any friends. It's not making me any money. And my buddy Joe, who was a panel member of the podcast back in 2021, and we're starting up doing some more content here shortly. He said something that really I still keep in mind to this day. He's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just kind of view it as a responsibility. I guess like for people that see this and understand it and are interested in the background and the history and economics and society and philosophy, and they see this and have a problem, it's kind of just our responsibility then to talk about it. And that's what you're doing, and that's where you find yourself in it here, I think.
It's well, and by the way, on the podcast, getting it started and stuff and keeping it going, you know, back when I interviewed bands and stuff and like Paramore back in the day. I guess.
Hi, it's Haley. Here, let's see Aaron Murch's iPod.
Katy Perry, she don't give a fuck, and neither do I. How's Warped Tour treating you?
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Just love to do it, bro. I love meeting people. I love to take my camera and just go. And then I was able to also listen to bands that I liked. And then in bands like Paramore and stuff, like I knew that they were going to be big. It was just something like a vibe I got, like all these artists, like I knew. But it wasn't even that. It was just like this feeling. And it was all about leaving a good first impression. That way they remember you again. So that way, if I saw them at Warped Tour down the road, they'd be like, oh, I remember that guy. We did an interview before. And so it didn't matter how big they got. They would still be down because they remembered how fun it was. I was, we were just having fun. There was nothing. I wasn't asking for anything. Everybody wants something now from people. I want to just put it on I just want to make a video. I want to edit something instead of me, so it was just putting it online. 2005, the first video I ever hit on YouTube. It was me at my friend's house. But getting back to what we're saying here is, I feel like it's my responsibility now, through the stuff that I've learned over the years, my videos and everything, who I am, that I need to go out there and represent what's going down. And I need to wake up the people walking by thinking it's just, they don't do anything. I want to wake them up now. Nothing's going to change until people want to change. We almost had it here in Los Angeles
until Mayor Bass was going to lose to Rick Caruso, a housing developer who's built several businesses and gave a lot of people jobs. They were trying to pitch him as the wealthy elite coming in, when really Karen Bass she's a career politician. And basically she's been in office for so long now, she wants to be LA mayor. What happened was Joe Biden came down a week before, vice president, all the Joe Biden, they all work together. It's oh crap, she's going to lose the first female mayor, and she's black. Wait, why aren't people voting? She's the first female mayor and she's black. People should be voting for her. Oh crap, we got to send Joe Biden, vice president. You know what I mean? So they had to bring out the whole gang because we were that close to getting to some real change. Mm-hmm. And that made me realize how corrupt it really is. He spent $100 million. He's a billionaire. $100 million really ain't nothing to him. But he was like, people are like, he spent all this money. No, he had to get people knowing about him. Nobody knew. So he spent his own money to let people know. You know what I mean? You got the organic way, or you got the money way. And even with $100 million, he couldn't do enough against the elite.
And Matt, and on, like, in all politics, it's always the money way. But you especially see that in the modern day political sphere, in my opinion, from this faction. From this faction of the left. They're just like, all our people are unpopular. The internet just destroys every slice of content that gets posted of any of our people. Call it Kamala, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, AOC. The internet tears these people to shreds. You know what I mean? So they just pour all their money into the people who own the platforms, into the advertisements, into the super PACs, into the special interests, all the lobbying they do. I see it on its face from that faction. I have a point I want to make, and I have a question for you. I'm going to ask you the question first. Feel free to give a political answer if it makes you uncomfortable, but I'm wondering where would you put yourself on the political graph? Right Republican, left Democrat, north anarcho, south libertarian.
Yeah, I did one of those tests. I was like, how I don't know how they good idea. I'm like in this middle, but they said like authoritarian, which was weird. It's weird how I took this whole test and where it put me. But I'm a middle child, and I think I'm really just dead center in the middle of a bunch of stuff, like the decriminalization on drugs. Okay, mushrooms, DMT, cannabis. Meth, no. Heroin, no. Death penalty for all drug dealers, literally, right. Except those exceptions. We need to start putting the death penalty back, kill the fucking drug dealers, let them know if they're going to start hustling that's what's going to happen. But it's not in there. Why are most of these drug dealers? If we had a better economy, better job, the reason when things start getting shittier, we start breeding more shittier people. When things go better, we start breeding more people. People have hope in society and everything. They might say, hey, I can have a chance to believe in myself. I can make something happen,
That's the American dream.
The American dream, which has now just been a carrot in front of the horse's face. So with the long story short, we're realizing with the falling of our cities, what's happening here, happening everywhere. It's just people, I guess to answer your question, I just... I'm in the middle. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. Move forward. We need a whole new system. It sounds like sounds like we need like a completely new system torn down. And I don't know how to do that necessarily. But,
and this is the hard part I find about trying to place myself or anybody else, like people like you that I meet on a political spectrum like that. Because you said, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. Well, that's the thing. It's like nowadays. And again, I think this is due to the internet and just general more conversation, more talk, more awareness, more news downloaded directly to your brains, whether it's fake news or not. It's still people are being made aware of things happening. It's like I consider myself a liberal, but basically I'm pretty much a conservative now, because of the way things shift, and the voting doesn't even necessarily correlate anymore to where you would put yourself. Like myself, I consider myself, I like the title of conservative libertarian, where I'm a libertarian that leans conservative on the toss-up issues. That's kind of where I go. But at the same time, dude, it's guys like you and me, so because I look at you and you're talking about all this stuff, and somebody who was coming in with less than good faith, especially like someone on the hard left, would look at you and they'd be like, death penalty? Fucking blah, 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 blah. Who is this fascist piece of shit? But look at you. You're in your hoodie. You're in your shades. You're in your flat brim. You're smoking a fucking joint, dude. This is the new political fucking world we live in, where I'm meeting more and more people that are like me and my gang, that are like you and your gang out there, that are regular everyday people that do the regular everyday shit, and they're like, hold on, this whole fucking, all this that has resulted from this progressive narrative, and I want to get into a little bit of the background of the homelessness and the that whole culture in a second here, but this isn't cool, man. And so there's guys are running around now. The counterculture is like, hey, maybe laws, you know, hey, maybe a little bit of order, you know, hey, maybe, you know, like, I just find that so funny.
Look at the Karen Bass and let me put this on. So yeah, damn, people we're getting a little too soft, like Costco yogurt, I say. No, so I remember I was going to say at those punk shows like Paramore and stuff, you'd have like these straight edge kids. And I remember one time my buddy's like, hey, Matt, those guys over there, man, don't tell them you smoke, that you smoke weed with the band. I'm like, why, bro? They're going to be mad that I'm talking with the band and they're not? No, bro. They don't like weed. I'm like, okay, so they're straight edge. What does that mean? They don't drink. They don't smoke cigs. They don't smoke weed, bro. They beat up people I'm like, wait, so they'll beat me up if I fucking tell them I smoke weed? Yeah, bro. What the fuck? So yeah, like this is like some of that generation of mine, the straight edge thinking that's like, sorry, it doesn't work in the real world. Like Alan Watts said that basically, man, if you go out in nature, there's no perfect straight lines. And if you go look in the city, everything's straight. We try to take the land and sculpt it to our own liking. But, you know, it's like if like picture in your head like a cartoon, like a man walks out into the woods, you know, and he's walking through and he stumbles across some, you know, like some type of vegetation. Maybe it's some herbs or something for a tea. And then he walks out of the forest back into think the smog and the city lights, and he walks into the city streets and he walks upstairs into his room. Like, that's what we've been doing. We've been walking out to the natural world, bringing it into this concrete jungle, trying to put labels on it, claim it to be our own.
Think about the appeal. Think about the appeal. You're out in nature, right? You got all the Vitruvian and the golden ratios and stuff happening around the natural beauty. But there is that sickly, that sugary, that overdone, like awe-inspire. If you're that guy that walks into the city and you see that grid and you see the straight lines and you see the light bulbs, as humanity, we've all become enamored by the city lights, right? I mean, growing up, dude, I grew up in a very small rural town. I graduated with 40 kids, population 2,500 in the town I grew up in. I wanted to move to a city when I grew up so bad. Then as I get older and I start spending more time in various cities around the country here, and I'm like, I want to come here, but I don't want to live on that fucking block. You know what I mean? Like, no. And I think you hit it on the head there with the guy that comes in the forest. I just wanted to add that. Like, we've gotten enamored by that sickly sweet, the Hollywood, the big lights, the stardom, the straight lines and the grid and the white backdrop. And, you know, like it's like the city is like life overproduced.
And to go back on the small town, my small town, the saying was, a small town that loves company, discover Gridley. But then whenever people would come from out of town, we'd go to jail for the weekend. It's like, what the fuck? They said, discover. What? Who are you? You're new around here, aren't you? Well, fuck, dude. They're just friends passing by. But can you hear me good? I know I'm outside now. There's leaf blowers and shit like that.
I can hear you. I can hear you crystal clear. It's pretty good.
All right, sweet. And to go back to being from a small town, you know, I think our thing is it always encourages us to want to go out and see more. That's the thing about being from a small town. Maybe when you're born in a big city, it might not even encourage you to ever go out there because you feel like you have it all there. Coming from a small town, I wanted to get out. I wanted to get out and see more. And after going with a rock band and coming back home, I travel around the country, come back, and I kept coming back, getting beat up with the locals. I remember I was at a bar one time. These Mexican guys were like, where the fuck you been, homie? I'm like, where have I been? Do you know what Pontiac, Michigan is, motherfucker? Do you know what Tampa Bay, Florida is? Do you know what, Cheyenne, Wyoming is, motherfucker? No, you just know Sage Street. You just know Ohio Street. And then I remember getting beat up by 6 guys, jumped right there, covering my temple as my friend came out, tried to stop it. And anyway, I'd go back, get drunk in my 20s, go back there in Gridley and wonder, what the fuck was I doing here? I need to get out of here. I need to go. And it was because I loved, but I overgrew my pond and I needed to go to a big, and a habitat. And now as I'm in LA over the last 7 years, I feel like I've outgrown this place now. Now I want to go to the solar system. No, I want to go to the ocean, meaning I want to explore more of the world, because now I feel like the mentality of man here is just too, I want to hope that I think do good things in my life where in the next couple of years I can just travel full time and go meet people from all around the world. Because now I feel like the devices in our hand, jumping back and forth, I was on a mushroom trip years ago, 2014. I had a phone in my hand. My friend next to me was all peeled out. He's no longer my friend. We had a falling out. Who would have thought? But as I was trimmed out on my phone, I was talking to a woman on Instagram. I was like liking her photos. She was from Zimbabwe and she was liking mine. And I remember telling my friend Jake, I was like, Jake. And he was all Norcoed out. He was like, sorry, Jake, I'm calling you out, bro. Fuck, it's what it is. We had her. Yeah. No, I'm saying it's what it is, bro.
Sorry, Jake.
People just, but then, I was like, Jake, what are you doing? He's like, what, bro? And anyway, I was like, dude, I'm talking with a woman from a whole different part of the world right now as I'm sitting next to you as we're playing Halo. Like I'm fucking like I'm like, dude, there's something about this. Like I'm talking, like we were just liking each other's photos, but we were connecting. She was from Zimbabwe. I was from America. And so in the moment, it made me realize how these devices, they're made to connect with each other, and how if we use right, and over enough time, if I send out enough signals like I've been doing since 2005, maybe one day people will hear my call. If every day I get up and I send out that signal, every day, I've been doing it for years, every day getting online, going live, every day. I'm saying for like over 10 years now, I can say every day I've been like posting every day, with hopes people will hear my call. And now people kind of listen. Now I got to keep it going even more. I'm just telling you and others that don't stop sending out that message. These devices are made to connect, not disconnect. But now we neglect that fact because we're lost. So,
and it's like your this crap, I can't remember his name now, the Cosmos guy, they sent out Voyager with the gold plate on it for anyone to see. We all have the ability to send out gold plates out into our little universe, you know what I mean, and keep sending that signal.
But we're just going to take photos of our Carl's Jr. burger and send it to our friend on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's what they want us to use these platforms for. And when I started figuring out after I got deleted and banned, and how they said I was working with these killers, when I was actually just shedding light on the fact that these people were fucked up. They were on these platforms for years and months. The platforms didn't do anything until they got called out on their bullshit. Then they started taking down the videos and try to cover their tracks. And unfortunately for me, I was sharing these facts on their platforms. So of course they would silence me and say that I was just condoning these killers like the Buffalo shooter and shit like that. I was not condoning. I was saying, how could a kid coming from a poor family of 5 have all this sophisticated gear in his closet that costs thousands of dollars and not have his family see it for months on end? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's too many.
I wonder about psyop shit with this kind of thing, man. I'm just gonna leave it there.
It's done. They've done it. They found some of these individuals and they track them. They reach out. They give them everything they need, and then they let them go rogue. And then they erase and they say no. They stop them. Yeah. So it's kind of like they didn't do it, but they did it, but they didn't, but they did, but they didn't. But we can't talk about this, and we should shut the fuck up right now.
Or the guy. There's, I mean, and this isn't new. This isn't just digital age. You got the guy that's been tracking the story for 30 years. That was on Rogan last year. He did the whole circuit with his new book he put out. Charlie Manson. Product of MK Ultra. Basically all the facts on the ground are like, yeah, the CIA was bailing him out of prison, you know, and he was an MK Ultra dude. Like they've been doing this shit and when I think about it, if I was like a person like at the very top, like in these organizations, you got to think like, why wouldn't you? I mean, that's what you're doing. You're like, we got to figure out what makes these people tick. Like, we're at the top. I want to preserve my spot at the top. We all do, right? Let's fucking do some shit. Figure out how we can manipulate people, what makes people tick, what goes on, because we got to preserve this great thing that we've fallen in love with our own selves and our own creations, and we need to preserve it because obviously no one else is capable of taking over and preserving with any of their fresh ideas. So that's that motivation, and I understand that. And so it's that doesn't piss me off as much as the people that turned a blind eye to it, the regular people, the people on the ground, the public, and they're like, well, no, we trust them. They're our leaders. What do you mean? You have to be a very special type of charismatic and sociopathic to become one of these people, man. These people aren't real people. Like, you know what I mean? And then again, on the other side of me, I'm like, it is a necessary evil of the system that keeps us organized, because for all the ways that shit's falling apart, especially the way it looks in your neck of the woods over there, like, When you look around, though, at the systems we have, the buses arrive on time, bro. I turn the soffit and the water comes on, man. There's people like ants, like an ant colony, every single day running around and making sure this shit fucking works. So there's something we're doing right, for sure. And that's where I look out at the
people want to destroy.
Yeah,
that's why people want to destroy it. And they want to destroy
and that's what the far left wants to do. They want to. Their whole postmodern ideology is to just completely destroy and try to rebuild some type of new system because the one we have is terrible. It's like, dude, you have lights and a fucking iPhone, man. It's not that bad. Let's figure out how to fix it.
It's repairing.
Yeah,
it's about repairing. And we're going through a renaissance right now, digital renaissance. People are figuring out how to use these devices for the greater good. And the VMP tribe, seen over the last couple of years since 2020 after Kobe Bryant's death, when I started going live, the whole thing started when Kobe Bryant died, which it'll be 3 years from the day coming up. I went live on YouTube that day. I had my account for 10 years, but I finally went live and I put Kobe Bryant conspiracy. Next thing you know, 1,000 people are live. And I'm like, it was just me talking by myself.
Yeah.
It was just me. I was like, all right, fuck it. I do it anyway. Hey, it's Video Matt here. You know, who cares? Nobody's watching. I'm like, hey, it's Video Matt here. These are my thoughts on Kobe Bryant dying. And all of a sudden, 1,000 people popped up. I'm like, wait, hold up. Like, even in the video, like, I think I still have the old version up. Hello? Hey, guys. So, you know, and in that moment after I got done, because I had to go eat dinner, but I wanted to stay longer, like a kid wanting to play outside longer. But mom said, hey, dinner's ready. In that moment, I realized how powerful this really is, live connecting the moment. And how I can use, and ever since then, I went live every day for 3 years up until my channel got deleted. Yeah. And I met these people every day and talked with them. And anyway, people are figuring out there's something going on. There's a game being played. After 2020, people realized they've always been holding the power, but now we want to get some of that too. And we want to break it. It's not even about the power. It's just, we want things to get done for the people, by the people. And we realize that the political leaders, mainly the left, are doing an agenda paid for from outside forces to erode away our freedoms and to destroy what our grandparents fought for. And that was the freedom to do what we're doing right now. Imagine that we could get banned for even on Zoom. Somebody's listening to our private Zoom call saying, oh, they mentioned China. Nope. Yep. They have to cancel it. Wait, but we're paying. Doesn't matter. You can't say this here.
Well, so and the fact that we're in the U.S., right? Because this is happening. You say something bad about China. You say something bad about the China-Taiwan situation. You talk about anything with that. It's like, ooh, not good. That's fucking insane. The China thing specifically. That's China. We should be, an American citizen should be able to go on whatever platform they want, especially something like Zoom or YouTube or anything, and be like, fuck China. You know, like, you should be able, like, that. You are. Like, it's not even a you should be. It's you are. We've lived in a reality. I was raised in a reality where you are. You know, it's not you should or you shouldn't be. You are. But
and that's why I think that video that went viral on the TikTok is because.
Oh, hang on, Matt. Let me stop you there. How much time do you have with me here? Can we restart the Zoom call? Because I'm getting the fucking timer pop up right now.
It cuts the audio, but at least it'll set the in-depth visual. My buddy who does virtual animation said that they're working on ways now to virtual reality when people are like basically elderly people put on these headsets, right? And they get their brain to spark these thoughts again. What they do is they take them deeper into the matrix, say it. And what they learned is that they add like smell with the virtual headset. So like if you're going into the water and you have the smell of ocean, it takes you even more in depth, like another layer into this train. So what I'm thinking, even like with the video, right? How to paint the picture, take it in layers. But anyway, that's crazy about virtual reality, right? How you can. And anyway, so it sparks, it opens up the mind of the individual. Thoughts it's like a combustion engine and they start to connect. And then the individual starts to get like dopamine and it kind of gets them going like in a healing way.
We're going
like virtual reality healing.
We're going to have that, dude, soon. Like the full haptic feedback and for lack of a better word, like what you're talking about, the trips that people will be able to experience. You know?
Right.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Oh, VR, dude. Have you done like, cause I'm sure around you, they got like those VR arenas where you go in and shoot the zombies. Have you done any of them?
They do have those. I haven't gone. I want to go to one of those locked rooms. They also have, I live close to where they do the League of Legends tournaments. It's called League of Legends. It's like, it's like game tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, and I've always just wanted to go check one of those out. But then again, I've never been a person who can watch other people play the game. I always had to play. Like I was bad at giving up the controller. So something about going and watching people play a video game, and I'm not like a part of it. It's not really.
Kind of.
I'll tell you what, people sometimes they'll leave their stuff in here for like an hour and not take it out, and it's kind of like, come on, man, be fucking considerate.
Oh, dude, I hated that. I hated
people
that.
don't care. That's the thing. People don't care anymore. People don't care. People are all about me. People don't have respect anymore for one another.
Yeah, no common
People
courtesy.
don't care. And I'm seeing it everywhere, not just.
I love this. Just all the different places that you've been.
So yeah, people don't care anymore.
Nope. Like we were saying, like it's just common courtesy just steadily declines to the point where you're like holding doors open for people and you're like, I'm old fashioned. I guess it's like, I just take that behavior for granted. Please, thank you. Okay, so here's for instance, we just had the previous owner of our house, who's been gone for a year, didn't change their address on their HelloFresh account, got a box of food ordered, and it landed at my front door. It was out there all day, but in the cold because we're in Michigan. It was like, I don't have this guy's contact information, and here's another thing. They trashed the house. We could have really fucked them good because they trashed the house before we moved in. But I didn't. I was like, fuck, whatever. I'm sure they got a lot going on. I don't want to be a dick. Whatever. It's fine. We got in here. I don't want to even deal with it. So this guy's food lands at our door, and I'm like, well, I'm taking it. We call HelloFresh, and I'm like, yo, HelloFresh is like, if you got food that was delivered to your house on accident, keep it, donate it, whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm keeping it then. So pretty pumped. Then yesterday, the next day, guy shows up at my front door. Hey, did you get a box of food delivered or whatever? And I'm just like, fucking son of a bitch, because it's like, I don't even know. I'm just gonna do the right thing. Like, fuck, I want this food, but I'm not the kind of guy that's like, no, bro, fuck you. Also, I think it'd be illegal to not give him his package, but I'm also like, no, dude, I'm not that guy. So I'm like, all right, here's your food. Casey's all like, why the fuck did you give him back his food? I'm like, it's a karmic test, baby. All right, like this is there's no more biblical of a karmic test than the guy showing up to get his food that's not rightfully ours, that is rightfully his, and me not giving it back. No, I am not testing the devil like that. But it seems like people don't think about that kind of stuff at all anymore. Just no common courtesy. You pass people on the street, you try to be nice to them. I just do not get it. When I was working in retail, man, and I was nice to the customers. I was like, hey, how's your day? Oh, whatever. They say some stupid joke. They're doing whatever. I'm like, it's whatever. It's a little bit your customer service voice, but it's also like people would be like, wow, you're so fake, Mitch. How do you do that? And I'm like, because I don't want to have negative interactions with people. Like, I don't know. I want to have positive interactions with people that I meet. I just don't get it. But segueing into a video of yours that went pretty viral this week, a Karen at a Carl's Jr. I'm going to put the video up here.
That's like horrible.
Yeah, we don't have anything to
So you should tell me, hey, sorry,
I didn't give it to you. I didn't
Well, I don't know who gave it to me, but you know that, right? That's disgusting.
These guys have a hard job. I mean, you think,
I know that.
like, it's just some sauce, man. They work a lot.
No, hey.
No, it's just a little bit of sauce. I work too.
I work at McDonald's.
But I don't need to hear you yelling at this man for just doing his job. Yeah, but no. You need to show people respect. This is America. Show them respect. No, she's yelling at this man over sauce. You guys, be nice when you come out here. Stop belittling these people. They're under enough stress. The corporation's making all the money and letting these people have to deal with the front lines. This is horrible. This is not America. This is not how we treat our fellow brother and man. We walk over dead bodies in the sidewalk. People spun out. We just act like it's normal. This is not normal. Wake up, wake up, wake up. And this is what we're breeding. People that just don't care. They just want to get their food, get their shit, live, buy, consume, die. But no, 2023, we don't bend the knee. We take back our cities. We start spreading love over some sauce. Some sauce. I'll give you some special sauce. You want some special sauce? Anyway, wow.
Links in the description as well. Matt, fire off. What the fuck happened in Carl's Jr., man?
All right, so a couple of days before the new year, I was doing Uber Eats. Been doing it on the side where you pick up orders and you take it to people, and been doing that for the last couple of months. It's made me realize how just, I've worked fast food. I worked at McDonald's as a kid. In high school, I worked at Round Table Pizza, radio internships, Costco. I worked for an illusionist. I've been around, you know, just like one of Ron Jeremy's models. I'm just telling you though that through all that, you know, it got me to see, you know, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. So doing the Uber Eats made me realize too just how much in the last couple of years these the fast food industry workers, people just in general that have to work with people, have to deal with customers, I guess, and how I was in line to pick up an order, a woman stormed through and immediately just started berating the guy, saying, you know, I can't. I'm driving. What am I supposed to do with this? Like what's going on here, ma'am? I'm not the one who gave it to you. You know who gave it to me, then, ma'am. And then that's when I stepped in and said, all this over sauce. You're acting, you know, pretty ridiculous. And she's like, what? Mind your business. And then I turned the camera on myself and I was like, basically saying like, you know, be nice to these people. You know, they have to, the people at the top are the ones making all the money while the people at the bottom are doing more work for less or the same wage or less pay. Because now the corporate guys after COVID, everybody's not buying like they used to. People aren't going out shopping like they were. And it's going to be a while if ever it comes back to that, at least how it was. Think about like old fashioned America. Now it's a new America. People are just programmed differently. So with that being said, they have to adjust the way they position themselves in their company. And that's still trying to make the same amount while not trying to give as much out. So the only way to do that is to either get robots, cut down the staff. Basically, the conveyor line, the manufacturing belt is getting a lot more tension. There's a lot more stress going down that these people all have to deal with, and they're only making $15 an hour. So leave them the hell alone, especially when they gave the woman the special sauce, but it came in a fry package, not a pre-package. But it's not like ketchup or barbecue. I worked at McDonald's. They have a bunch of individual sauces. But if you were to come in there and ask for special Big Mac sauce,
you get a little cup. You get a little cup.
Little cup, or
Yep.
you know, little cup, or you know, or you put it in the little fry bag, whatever we got. It's not pre-packaged. So the fact that she was upset about just it wasn't in the, she got the sauce. It was just what it was coming in, and what are we coming to? And so I put the video up on TikTok, and a lot of people that work in those positions, you know, wrote back, said thank you, kind of like being the voice of the people. You know, they're like, thank you for speaking out. A lot of people just film, they don't do anything. And yeah, it has almost 800,000 views as of today. And that was filmed a couple of days before. And then the Daily Dot did an article, and they said they reached out via comment, but I didn't see no comment. I mean, it's cool that they did the article and everything, but you know, just if you just reach out if you want to, you know, talk more.
Oh, they never actually reached out to you?
No, they said on the bottom that we reached out for comment, and then we reached out to Carl's Jr. It's like, Allison, the girl who wrote the article, like, very thankful. That's awesome that you did that. Thank you. But I never seen no comment. I went through all of them too. I was like, I gotta go find this. You know, I was like suspended for 3 days because somebody trolled my account, so I couldn't comment anything. So I was just like, wait, where is this Daily Dot thing? And I identified it. It was like a diamond in the rough that I'm never gonna find. It's Little Rough. Rest in peace, Rough Riders DMX. Which he got taken out. A lot of them are getting taken out. But anyway, what I'm just saying is getting takeout shouldn't be about me. It should be about all of us working together. And just like I used to hustle weed, it was about a win-win. From the farmer to me to the guy at the end, it's a win-win. I took the weed from up north down to down south. The people down south got such a great deal, they thought they were ripping me off. When really I was a good middleman. The guy up north got his, everybody wins. So that's what everybody needs to win. We need to be respectful and live by, consume, die. Stop breeding this culture of just give me mine, fuck you. And so, yeah, that's what would happen. And now people are checking out my stuff now and figuring out that I'm not always, you know, I'm calling out other stuff too. So, but it's not just Karen's, but it's just me, you know. So I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm not trying to do for views and clicks. I just do what I do because I just been doing it since 2005, like we talked before. 2000 actually, since high school. So. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And like on the Carl's Jr. note, you were mentioning like you're talking about the kind of the economics, the economy behind the way all this works. And like you said, and so the only way they do that is they go to machines. Like it's funny to me because this is one of those situations where it's like, this person just wanted to fight. Like there's no, you can't, like a machine still like that takes your order. You still would have got the sauce in the fucking packet, you know, in the fry pack. And when I had first saw the video, I hadn't seen your like addendum to it talking about what actually happened with that lady. And then I had just recently saw the addendum with the, you know, the talking about the fry packet. I'd just be fucking happy they remember to give me my sauce, man. Like, that's
Right.
like usually the problem you run into is you ask for the fucking special thing and then they forget about it because it's a weird special thing, you know? And even then it's like you can't be that mad at people like that. I have a love-hate relationship with the service industry as well, like where I think it's funny that restaurants like Applebee's and TGI Fridays, Buffalo Wild Wings, like these sit down but not fancy restaurants have waiters, like wait staff. I 100% of the time would rather give my order to someone or put it in a machine like you do at Costco and then go to the fucking kitchen counter and grab my food when a fucking ding goes off or someone yells 267. I'm fucking there, dude. I don't need somebody to bring me my food and be in that position. And then I get really ticked off about the tip culture whiners who whine about tips. And it's like, dude, I've known a lot of servers who make fucking bank at their job because they're good at their job. It's not the people that are good at their job that are bitching about not getting tipped. You know, like that's my bad man take on that. But on the flip side, you got people like the fast food thing is actually different from the example that I was given there because fast food is a kind of a different ecosystem. And think about it. That fucking bitch looked rough in that Carl's Jr., man. She didn't look like she was like, you know, someone with all her fucking marbles together. And that's unfortunately a little bit of the crowd that, you know, a fast food joint takes in. You think about it. I mean, you think about all these different municipalities and states that ban fast food in low income areas because it's, you know, it's too much and they're always overpopulated in low income areas or in XYZ deserts. Places. Yeah. Exactly. The food deserts. And, so you just get the worst of the worst at these places too, you know? And so I always feel bad for the fast food people guys. I'm like, dude, like, I can't imagine dealing with 75% of the clientele that you have to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, that sucks.
And that's why it's like all this stuff we're seeing happen. A lot of people, the ones that there's like the people in the very high up that just, they get it, they can afford to be in their little bubble and not see it. And then there's people like that lady that are just so focused on their sauce, they're oblivious to what's going on around them. They're just on their own mission. And there's people like us that have to be mixed up on in all of it and deal with it. Think about the people on. It's just weird times, So I'm hoping things get better.
Yeah, me too. I'm optimistic about it. Just by the general, you know, surge up of more and more people that share the attitudes that, you know, you share, that I share. I think there's more people that are waking up and kind of getting a little bit more active and saying, you know what? No, I'm not even going to pretend to go along with this bullshit, you know, in all sorts of facets of life. It looks to me like what you're doing, I think because in the Carl's Jr. video, you kind of compare that to some of the to the videos you take of the. I think about him in my mind. I'm like, oh, did you see Matt's latest Streetwalker video? That's what I call it.
Right.
But with the Streetwalker videos, you're kind of connecting the cultural and societal dots between just the degradation in all these different areas and the general sense of how people have been feeling, and the conversation is gone, and dialogue has kind of fallen, and culture is starting to wither and thrash about. You're kind of connecting those dots between these different incidents that you see out and about in your life, and you're in a good place to see a lot of shit.
And speaking of that, that's where I do most of my thinking is on the shitter. That's why when we close it out right now, this is where it's a good spot to be, because right here where I do a lot of my thinking. And that's when I get the ideas to go out and take that shit and turn that into an idea, and an idea to connect with other people. You know, it's crazy how we make things, you know, you have to see it come to life, right? People won't believe you as believing is seeing. So it's about seeing it and then capturing it, sharing it, and then other people I got people sending me videos now, what they see around their town. They're like, just don't tag me, but thank you. Yeah. Keep up the good work. You know, you got elderly ladies reaching out on Nextdoor app, you know, saying, thank you. I don't feel safe outside. Thank you for your videos. So, or a person's mom who got killed from these programs that they have in place, wondering what's going on. So I feel like just going to keep doing the thing, be a little bit more cautious, since, you know, drug dealers don't want you yelling out execution of drug dealers. You know what I mean? You fucking put a target on your head. But I think it's just people need to wake up, and I'm going to do that through my own way. And maybe it's the middle child in me just wanting attention, but I'm going to do it not about me, more about like over here at me, like here's me, but this is over here. I'm just the guy bruising. Like, yeah, me, yeah, but not really. It's like this. Like, yeah, but
well,
not.
And Matt, can I offer you this observation? I would say like I like sometimes, because you get fired up out there in those streets sometimes, you know what I mean?
Why are you trying to fucking harm me? Yeah, let's go give them houses. God, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. I hope you guys are mad! Because we're going mad. They're allowing that shit. Look at that guy. Sorry, bro. If you're out in the middle of the fucking sidewalk, don't get pissed if somebody's gonna film you. Get the fuck out of here then. Gleam Davis. Look at the Karen Bass. Let me put this on. This is my call to everybody that can hear me. Make sure you film. Make sure you expose. This is fucked up.
If you were a guy that were out for me, you know, you'd be a little bit more like, official, but you're like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Look. You're like, sometimes it's like you're grabbing the viewer's face and you're like, look at it. You know what I mean? And that's how you know it's not all about this guy. You know what I mean? He's just like, what the fuck is going on? On that note though, too, you're talking about being a little bit careful, man. That's one reason. Man, you got to get out of that. I don't know what exactly the laws are over in Cali there, but over here in Michigan, we stay strapped lest we get clapped, bro. And Daddy Gov says that's okay for me. So I'd explore avenues of that when you're getting into this kind of realm, man. Have that PPP on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that PPP spray. So, but no, good, yeah. But yeah, I'm in the bathroom. No, this is good. I enjoyed the talk, and I was just sitting here. I was like, fuck, I really do gotta take a shit now, though. You can leave this on. It's all good. Who cares? It's all raw. This is the thing. This is how content should be. Like it's in the moment.
You have the Pavlovian switch because you're in the room now. You're like, oh, gotta shit.
Yeah, like take the kids to the pool. My friend told me a long time ago, he's like, I gotta take the kids to the pool. I'm like, wait, you're taking Daniel and Tatum to the pool? And he's like, no, dude, I have to take a shit. It was like February, a really cold time of the year, and I was shocked. I'm like, you're going to the pool? He's like, no, I'm taking you know.
Yeah, can't say that anymore when you actually have kids.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Matt. Well, dude, I'm gonna let you go to do your business, take those kids to the pool, man. Again, I really appreciate you being here. I mean, it's been a fucking awesome and fun conversation getting to talk to you one-on-one like this over on my channel. You've been super supportive since we met too about me growing the channel, so I appreciate that. And super supportive to everybody else I see you talking to. You were showing your Stay Highly Positive gear out there when you were sitting there. I don't know if that was a pillow or a shirt, but you got the Stay Highly Positive, the VMP Tribe out on YouTube. Matt, plug your shit, man, and don't forget about plugging White Noize too.
All right, The Walking Dead by White Noize, Valentine's Day. That'll be released on all streaming platforms. Look for a music video soon. Video Matt Presents on YouTube. Video Matt Presents Official on Instagram. The Real Video Matt Presents on TikTok. VMP Tribe on Facebook. You can find me on the Reddit. Just type in Video Matt Presents. And all those other streaming platforms. And thank you, Mitch is a Bad Man, for having me on the show. Thank you guys very much for watching, and keep it up. What I mean by that is when you see what's going, don't be afraid to film stuff, just be safe. And no wonder, right? No wonder we don't have the Walking Dead seasons anymore, because now you just turn around, look out the blinds, now we're living in it. They're like, you know what? Do away with the show now. It's actually the fucking real deal now. They don't need, stop. We need to, like, I don't watch much TV or movies because I live in one now. Like I'm in my own movie, but beside that, I live in Hollywood. And anyway, doesn't matter if you don't have to live here to see what's going on. It's happening in every city. So be aware, be alert, and stayhighlypositive.com merchandise. If that's what you want to support and do, go to White Noize, WHITE space NOIZE noise. And let's make some noise, make it positive. And thank you guys so much. I'm doing this whole thing because look, you see how my hand's right here, but you're looking at me through the mirror, two different mirrors. It's all about perspective, right? It's weird. Like there's just, anyway, it's trippy, is it not?
It's very trippy. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, thank you again, Mitch, and just add a little trippiness to the end of the show.
But for me, it was a gram of mushrooms back in 2014 that helped change my life. I recommend microdosing, and I recommend everybody smoke a little bit of cannabis on occasionally. And if you're going to smoke CBD, make sure it comes from cannabis and not hemp. If you're just smoking hemp and it's not coming from cannabis, it's pretty much like taking a supplement and you're overpriced. What the fuck are you doing? Make sure you smoke some cannabis. Make sure you smoke the CBD with cannabis. Make sure you smoke it with a low CBD. Low THC, high CBD. But make sure it has some THC because it works as a catalyst to really kick into gear the medicinal benefits of what you're trying to get from the full spectrum entourage effect of the CBD, which you will not get it from a smoke shop CBD hemp. And Delta 7, all that for the people in the illicit states, I get it. But fight for legal cannabis and stop just fucking giving up and just saying, okay, the Farm Bill, Delta H, or Delta 7 or XYZ. Fight for the real deal. You guys deserve better. Everybody stay positive. Later, Mitch.
Hell yeah, Matt. Thanks again. Until next time, dude, stay highly positive. Look forward to it. Viewers, don't forget to click the links in the description below for all of Matt's content and projects. We'll talk to you later. I'm Mitch is a Bad Man.